Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about a ninja build that I made. This is actually what I'm currently playing in the Kingmaker campaign, however we are only level 6. This is going to be so we're probably going to go all the way up to level 20. This is something I made just to give myself kind of an idea of where I want to go. So the background of my character is me and another character in our party. We just came from a ninja village. Our clan actually got exiled, so we went to guess, the wilderness of, Kingmaker to try to, find a new place to live to rebuild our clan. That's pretty much it. We're awesomers. I'm an Edelkin awesomer, and the other person is a Muse Touch awesomer. So, going into abilities, 12 strength, 20 dex, 15 con, 10 wisdom, 19 charisma. You just want high charisma levels just so you can have more key pool and stuff like that. I went dex charisma just to get more dex for more AC and more damage because I have weapon finesse as well as agile weapons. So going into the ninja stuff, so this character is really built around ninja tricks, and the fact that he is a scout. So scout's pretty cool, and that uncanny dodge really isn't that great for a ninja. It's not it's not really that good. So I think scout's probably always better. But I noticed that it said that whenever you do a charge, you get your sneak attack damage. So that's pretty cool. And then at level 8, whenever you move more than 10 feet in a round and make an attack action, you also get your sneak attack damage. So it's just an easy way to, it gives you 2 different ways to proc your sneak attack damage, which is really good. Okay, going into the ninja tricks now though. So early on, I actually really like taking Shadow Clone because whenever you have low health, it's really easy to get one shot at low levels. So I think taking Shadow Clone at level 2 is pretty good. After that, taking Vanishing Trick is pretty good because this is just a swift action. So you can swift action and then you can reappear. And since you're catching them flat-footed, since you were invisible, you proc your sneak attack dice. So this is pretty good early as well. Finesse Rogue, so you can get your dexterity to your attack rolls. And keep in mind that your ninja weapons actually work with weapon finesse when it comes to this. Like the way it all interacts, it actually is like an exception. So your Wazakashis actually do benefit from your dex mod. You can see right here, it's all in the calculation. So after that, you have a couple choices. Pressure points is pretty good. Offensive defense is also pretty good. So pressure points, whenever you deal damage with sneak attack dice, you can deal 1 point of strength or dexterity damage, and you decide. This is pretty easy to heal, but it can stack up pretty fast when you get multiple attacks. Offensive defense gets really good the higher up you go, because if you hit something with sneak dice, you get a dodge bonus to your AC equal to the amount of sneak dice that you rolled. So for me right now it's 7. So if I hit somebody, I get a +7 to my AC against them. You can already see my AC is 28, so that means I have a 35 AC versus things. That's kind of wild. Once you hit level 9, you can start getting the advanced ninja tricks. So Invisible Blade, this functions as greater invisibility, so you are just perma-invisible. So it doesn't end if you attack. So you're perma-invisible, get perma-sneak dice. Absolutely amazing. No reason to like ever not take Invisible Blade, in my opinion, especially considering it lasts 13 rounds, so that's just really good. And you have Assassinate. So if you study somebody for 1 round, whenever you deal your next sneak attack damage against them, will have the chance of killing them. DC is equal to 10 plus half the ninja level plus the slayer's plus the ninja's charisma modifier. So if they fail this, they just die. So this is really cool because you can do Invisible Blade, right? And then you can study them for a round, right? You can study them for a round. So that's pretty good. And keep in mind you have to take Vanishing Trick in order to be able to take Invisible Blade, right? So you study them while you're invisible, and then you just go to assassinate them, and if they fail the DC 23 fort save, they just they just die. And there's gonna be, and if you're fighting casters and stuff like that, they're probably gonna fail this. Like there's the potential to one-shot a boss with this, if I'm being completely honest, if it's a caster boss, and if it doesn't have that. But that being said, unless it's like immune to death effects or something, so I think this is a death effect if I'm not mistaken. The next thing here is crippling strike. A rogue with this ability can do 2 points of strength damage per hit. Now this is really good, so you can't take this until level, at least level 9 as well. And this is actually like really good because so like, you're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So you have all of these attacks that you're doing. Uh, so like it's kind of wild, right? So let's say you hit with like all 4 of these. Well, you just did 8 strength damage. That is like absolutely back-breaking, like absolutely nuts. Within 2 rounds, you can pretty much just kill something to strength damage. Like, because if their strength gets to 0, they just die. So, um, you look here, we go, so then we go to feats. So you want to take 2 weapon fighting relatively early, so you can fight with a weapon wielded in each of your hands. You can make 1 extra attack each round with the secondary weapon. So if you wield the second weapon with your offhand, you can get 1 extra attack per round with that weapon. When fighting in this way, you suffer a -6 penalty. So this lessens those penalties. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe you get 5 attacks. So like right now I have 5 attacks. That's also being hasted and with key attack speed. So normally it's 3. You take these 2 things off and I believe it goes down. Yeah. So normally it's 3. You go hasted, key point plus 1 attack. So you get boots of speed. All of a sudden you have 5 attacks and you're dealing 10 points of strength damage because you're doing a plus 20. That's pretty good for level 12, 13. You should be hitting things pretty consistently with a plus 20. Like I'm trying to think about like what the ACs are. I mean, the ACs of bosses might be like 30 or something by then, but even then that seems kind of high for that level. But yeah. So anyway, going into uh, skills. This is the skills I chose just because based on what I've seen. So stealth is good. Perception, linguistics is always good just to have, a billion different languages. Bluff's good, diplomacy's good, climb's good. Acrobatics is like I'm an acrobatics fool on the ninja, so I mean, having huge acrobatics just makes it to where you can do flashy stuff. Because why walk when you can do because as long as you have at least 1 key point in your pool, you get the running start, and it also is half the DC. So it's like, because you don't have to use the key pool. You just have to have 1 point in your key pool. So you don't actually have to use it. You just get all your acrobatics as if you did a running start. So why walk somewhere when you can just do front flips? It's just way cooler. Unless you roll ones like me and oh my god, I've fallen off so many horses trying to do a backflip off of it. It's not even funny. But okay, going into magic or actually we'll go to weapons first. So I use agile wakizashis. The reason why is because you get your dex to damage, so you get a plus. So instead of getting the strength, you get this. So you really want to get these agile. That's kind of the first thing. You want to get them agile, and then you want to get this feat here, improve critical, because it makes your wakizashis have an absolutely nuts crit range. Now, crit isn't really that good on a ninja because sneak dice is not multiplied by crit, which kind of blows, but it does still, it's gonna double your 1d6 plus 7, I guess. So it's gonna, if you do crit, you get 2d6 plus 14 or 2d6 plus 24, depending on which hand you hit. So, in addition to the 7d6, that could be pretty good. But the idea of a ninja, I think, is, just having a lot of attacks. So ninja, and you also do all that strength damage and stuff, so you have an absolute ton of utility. So, you're not a barbarian, right? You got to remember that. I like to take extra ninja tricks as well. That also helps. Improved initiative's good. Combat reflexes is good for extra AOs. So as I Wakazashis, and then just try to upgrade them as much as you can for more attack bonus and damage bonus. Armor, I just do a mithril chain shirt because it has a really high max dex bonus. So I would actually be at a point where I need to figure out what to do next because my dex bonus is eventually going to get higher than this, but I'm not quite there yet. Magic items, belt of physical might, dex con. You know, you don't really need strength, so the dex. Obviously dex and constitution is going to help you live longer, get more HP. Boots of speed, this is pretty good just because it gives you access to haste for that one extra attack. Cloak of resistance, no brainer. Buffs your saves because if you look at this, like, dude, your will saves and your fort saves as a ninja are pretty turds. Like, they're really not good. So you need something to buff that. You do have a plus 14 to initiative though, so there's that. But if they cast a spell on you and you need to make a fort save, it's pretty priority to get a cloak of resistance, I think, as fast as you can. Probably more so than any of these other magic items, just because it's real easy to die to just one bad save. Headband of mental prowess, go wisdom and charisma because it buffs the save even further, and then it also buffs this. You don't really need intelligence unless you want like more skills. Everything scales off your charisma modifier as a ninja, so you don't really need it. You don't necessarily want to tank it because you'll lose skill points, and you do get a good amount of skill points per level. Like you can see, you have 104 at level 13, so you have a good skill point pool. Other than that, yeah. So again, in play, if you want to add sneak attack damage here, then you have key movement, key stealth, no trace, key attack speed. But the max damage you can do here is going to be 5 attacks with at a d6 plus 12 plus 7d6. So if we're looking at what our damage can potentially be, so 1d6 plus 12, so that's 18. 7 times 6, obviously 42 plus 18. So that means you can do about 60 damage per hit would be the max. So your average is probably going to be half of that, somewhere around 30 most of the time. So times that by 5, and you're doing 150 damage. Plus, I actually am dumb. You're actually doing 3 points of strength damage per attack. So you can do 15 strength damage in a turn because pressure points. So a ninja with this trick, boom, 1d6. Yeah. Now granted, they can heal this damage, but they can only heal 1 point of damage for each successful check. So if you hit them for 5 times, you're reducing something straight by 15. You could potentially kill a caster with that. Yeah. So, boom. Well, I take that back. It says only one such talent can be applied to an individual attack, and the decision must be made before the attack is rolled. Okay, so I take that back. So it would just be 10. Okay, I'm insane. I thought that didn't sound right, but you know what? We found out it isn't. Okay, well, that's going to do it. Hope you guys like this ninja build. Has a lot of cool stuff in it, You can get up to 35 AC, etc., etc., do a ton of strength damage. You can also charge and get your sneak, so pretty cool stuff. Well, I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys next time.